Today on the show, we are talking classical movies with Todd Summers, and we are talking wellness with Mr. Dennis Parker from Positive Mind Management Services.
And I'm going to tell you about a problem that you have when you're getting married.
All this happening right here, right now on Talk 365 TV. Here we go. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Holly Love, and that is Trip Mitchell. And what?
So I have never worn a ring before in my life, and now I've got to go down to Tiffany's and get fitted for a wedding ring.
Is it going to make your finger fall off? From emotional distress? Is it going to burn your skin upon entry?
No, it's just, you get used in life not to wearing rings, and some people love rings, and I've had friends who've had really nice, like a Super Bowl ring. I know a guy.
Sure.
And that you pull out every once in a while. But a daily ring is a pain in the butt.
So what are you getting? Is it like white gold, gold?
It's platinum, I guess.
Platinum. Beautiful.
Yeah. But anyway, I got to go get married.
It'll be beautiful. You're going to Tiffany's. Hello.
Anyway, I've got to do that right after the show. I've got an appointment to go get fitted.
So Tiffany's is at City Creek, and it is beautiful, beautiful. It's not as fun as, of course, breakfast is Tiffany's, New York, but it's still... You can't go wrong going into Tiffany's. There is something to be said about a Tiffany's diamond. It is sparklier, and I don't think it's just the lights.
You can't, guys, listen to me on this one. You can go wrong
at
financially by going in. So I did a little matchmaking this last week.
I know, I'm excited for this.
So Vita's goddaughter, Chani, is lovely and just so much fun, and she's a huge sports fan. She loves it. When she's dating a guy, she goes to every game. I took her to my hockey game, and Magic was in the air afterwards. And this is a picture of Scott, who's one of the really nice guys. This is a new team for me.
I was going to say, give me the background on Scott. He's a good boy.
Scott's a good guy. He works for a big company in Salt Lake that does kind of security stuff for the border, it's a high-tech company that will X-ray full trucks coming in. And we all play on the same team, and it was so much fun. And so take a look at this picture. This is one of those things when you're thinking about putting a couple together, you forget about how do they look together. And Scott is only 6'1", but with the skates on the bottom and Chani being about 4'10", that's how it turned out.
Oh, I think they're adorable. I think that's so cute when you've got a tiny and a tall.
Do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
They went to a Bees game, wrong AAA team, on Sunday and had a great time.
Is there going to be a second date?
I think there is.
All right, cool. Well, keep me posted on that. Chani, good luck. I would tell you just be a little leery of anyone Trip brings to the table, but it is a new team. You said he's a good guy, so We'll take your word for it. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back right after this.
We are the dreamers.
We changed the world.
Because we don't give up.
IU can help you live your dream.
IU is an online college, so your campus is wherever you want it to be.
Take classes when you want to take classes.
You receive the tools you need at no extra cost.
Even a brand new laptop and tablet to use in school.
Call IU, then tell them your dream.
Call 1-800-613-8965. That's 1-800-613-8965.
Talk 365 TV is proud to present our News You Can Use segment.
And welcome back to Talk 365 TV. I'm Trip Mitchell. That's Holly Love. And tell me about what's going on.
Well, it is now fall-ish, almost. School is starting here in just a hot minute, which is really terrifying. Seriously, where did the summer go, though? It flew by. And we have been attending some really fun events downtown. We went to the Peruvian festival, which Sylvia and her dance team, they were performing at. It was at the Gateway. It was a huge success. The food was amazing. Trip, I had a queen avocado, which is an authentic Peruvian dish. It's like a half of an avocado with chicken salad, or they can put any kind of meat in there, and then some onions on top. Oh my gosh, that was delicious food. And then just their rice. Sylvia's told me before she's dreamt about rice because she's Peruvian and rice is their mainstay along with potatoes. And I was like, okay, you dream about rice, that's interesting. I now dream about rice because they know how to make rice. I don't know what's so different, but it is so, so yummy. So anywho, we had a blast there. Then there was the big food truck battle. So we went down there, we did the vote. I saw Matt Bourgeois from the Bohemian. They're doing great. We're gonna meet up with him soon and have a little chat, follow up on how they're doing. But I think they won. I will double check, but when I left, they were winning, and I'm not quite sure which food truck it was. Fry Me Over the Moon that was winning when I left, but we'll get the official stats up for you. It was just a blast. There was like 20 food trucks. There was probably 15. There's so many breweries. So many awesome breweries. Andy was in heaven.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we had a meeting 2 weeks ago with Level Crossing and the professional hockey team, the Grizzlies, to do an actual brew fest outside before a game.
Oh, how fun.
Which would be great, and it would benefit Angels' hands. It's going to win-win all the way around, so we're working on that. But, people love any excuse to be outdoor, especially once you get into October. The good days, you want to be out there for them.
Yeah.
You desperately want to be outside.
Well, and they even had incredibly fun DJs too. So at the Gateway, they shut down the street. Obviously, they shut down First South, I believe is the one. And then they have food trucks just lining that main strip in the Gateway. Then they have the big grassy section where they had a DJ there from Broadway Media, which was one of the sponsors. And he was so good. It was really fun. We had a blast. So I highly recommend checking out the Gateway. Check out some of our previous segments where we told you all about what's happening. They have Mondays. You can bring your kids in, do some science classes. Thursdays, there's like wine tastings. They do really cool stuff there all the time. Through the fall is no exception. And then you were going to tell me a little bit about Oktoberfest. Snowbird.
Oktoberfest
Hello.
is almost here.
Because it's August.
Yes, it is. We don't own a calendar. Because we're so high, 8,000 feet in the mountains, we have to end a little early. Oktoberfest is always a lot of fun. It's cool up the canyon. You can't beat it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to owe $1.
For what?
My phone just beeped.
Oh.
How did that happen? I swear I turned it off.
What are we doing in the next segment?
Coming up next, Toddy's going to tell you what classic movie you should watch that's one of his faves.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining me for Todd's Classic Movie Minute. Now here's a classic for you that's one of my all-time favorites from 1937, starring my all-time favorite Cary Grant and Irene Dunne. It was directed by Leo McCarey, who dubbed Cary Grant the Happy Worrier because he worried about everything when he was on the set. It's one of the first rom-coms, kind of a slapstick screwball comedy that's just absolutely hilarious. And great writing, great character acting. Ralph Bellamy is also in it, and also Asta, the Wonder Dog. Here it is from 1934, The Awful Truth. So you can rent The Awful Truth from 1934, starring Cary Grant, on any of your digital stores online. Google Play, YouTube, all of those. It's fantastic. It's a great movie. And I'm not just saying that.
This is important news for people who have been exposed to the weed killer Roundup in commercial settings and later developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. If you or a loved one were exposed to Roundup in a commercial setting and then developed non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, call the law offices of Davis and Crump right now to see if you are eligible for a cash award and medical expenses. Our first consultation is free. Call now. Operators are standing by.
Today's Talking Wellness is presented by the offices of Positive Mind Management Services with wellness team expert Dennis Parker. And welcome back to Talk 365. I'm Trip Mitchell, that's Holly Love. Holly Love is minus $2 because her phone beeped twice.
It did. I had a little phone blow up. I'm not even sure what's going on, but I thought I turned it off.
You know what is so cool? 60 Minutes the other night did a thing on the MIT Media Lab. And these guys, 35 years ago, knew what was going to happen now.
Wow.
You get discouraged, and we've had some horrible news in the United States as of late. It's a rough go. Mm-hmm. But you watch something like this, and you realize that we have the smartest people in the world here. Mm-hmm. And a lot of them from all over the world who come to the United States just to study. And as long as we have people like that, we're going to be okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, great segue, because one of those people would be someone like Dennis Parker, the Certified Hypnotherapy Training School and Positive Mind Management Services. He has been in my life for the last 5 years and has completely helped me deal with anxiety and positive mind management tools and skills that help you deal with life at a faster, better, stronger rate. A lot of people use hypnotherapy in sales, in sports. A lot of golfers use it. Sure. Or if you have issues with pornography addiction or self-abuse or addiction in general, This is something that has become Dennis's specialty, and he's really studied to figure out what it is that's going on, and he really knows how to help you overcome it once and for all. And we have put together a full webinar extended interview that you can get online and in the privacy of your own home, go through and take this course and be able to learn for yourself how to beat this in a very simple, private way. And so Dennis, again, he's written this amazing new book. He's going to tell you all about it in this segment and how he has figured out how to beat this problem that's been plaguing a lot of people and ruining a lot of family lives and a lot of people's lives in general. So check this out.
Today's Talking Wellness is presented by the offices of Positive Mind Management Services and the Certified Hypnotherapy Training School with wellness team expert Dennis Parker.
Hey everybody, welcome to another Talking Wellness segment. Today we are here at the new residence of the Certified Hypnotherapy Training School and offices of Positive Mind Management Services to talk to owner and our wellness team member, Mr. Dennis Parker, about this awesome location, new books, and a brand new online training course that pulls the curtain back on pornography and self-abuse and really hits hard on what it takes to overcome it once and for all. So without further ado, let's meet the man of the hour and bring in Mr. Dennis Parker, my friend, my mentor, and a person that I can honestly say has completely changed my life. Hi Dennis, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing so good. Congratulations on this amazing new facility.
Oh, thank you.
I am so excited to be up here because you have so many fun things happening. You have 3 books being released, you have school happening, you have online webinars and online trainings. It's just a good time to be you.
It's a lot of fun at this point in my life to be doing what I'm doing. I love it.
So let's talk about your new facility here. You've got the offices of Positive Mind Management Services,
Right.
where you have multiple hypnotherapists that work out of there, both in person, you can come in as a client, or online. Tell us about that.
Well, the Positive Mind Management Services side of the business is where I also work when I'm not teaching school or we're not managing and running a school. And so there we actually do sessions of certified clinical hypnotherapy. We're using hypnosis, pondering, or trance to access people's subconscious mind where the roots of problems are normally housed, and we teach them how to clear up what we would normally call fixations. A fixation is a memory that still has a negative emotion attached to it. So when you think about that memory, you still become angry or you become sad or mad. And so we help people desensitize from past abuses, memories of abuses, and we help people through all types of behavioral issues, pain control, prep mothers to do painless childbirth, migraine pain control, the emotional side of illnesses.
Pretty much anything that ails you because of the emotional component that you are able to help people
Right.
from all of those things you said.
Right. Every disease or illness has really 2 components. There's the emotional side. That's where doctors want to say this is stress induced, and we hear that a lot. And then there's the organic pathology side. The stress side is where it's actually being driven by stressful thoughts or stressful thinking. And as those thoughts are placed through the brain as energetic frequencies, it's those frequencies that are either positive or maladaptive that either enhance the immune system or decrease it. So we are good at helping a person clear up the emotional component. Then the medicines or the nutrition or whatever else they're doing on the physical side to finish cleaning up the organic pathology actually has a better chance of being successful because we don't have this emotional conflict in the immune system kind of fighting against that, so to speak.
So beyond the services for your clients, you also have the school that has been going for quite some time, where you teach students how to become certified hypnotherapists and teach them your exclusive positive mind management, which is advanced clinical hypnotherapy techniques that you've developed in your 30+ years of doing this. So let's talk about how that is so special and different from anything else anybody's doing.
To start with, the school is a post-secondary proprietary school of hypnotherapy in the state of Utah, meaning we're a professional trade school of hypnotherapy. We're registered and bonded through the Department of Commerce. So we're actually DOPL regulated. We're the official school, if you will, of hypnotherapy. The other thing that makes our certificates credible is that we certify through the American Council of Hypnotist Examiners. which is one of the oldest and largest certifying organizations in the world. And with their certificates, our student can get the same malpractice liability insurance as a psychologist or a psychiatrist. So it's considered to be like the real deal in hypnotherapy. So in the school, we train people in hypnosis, we train them in self-hypnosis, we train them in what's called suggestion hypnotherapy, we train them in what we call clinical hypnotherapy modules, we train them in positive mind management modules, and then we're adding a new course segment to it now that we're finally pulling out of the dark of the back of the room, called Protocols of Adversarial Resistance.
You have spent the last 30 years working with, as I said earlier, thousands of clients. You've done tens of thousands of hypnotherapy sessions. And you being born and raised here in Utah and being brought up as a Christian has greatly influenced the way you approach clinical hypnotherapy. And interestingly enough, it's your spirituality that almost has demystified it, because you really understand how this works and you're able to get results time after time after time.
Well, a lot of people want to think that hypnosis is a mystery, you know, the mystery of the mind and the subconscious and so on. I don't view it as a mystery at all. I view it as a set of processes that the mind does that are predictable, they're understandable. What's different is that I did take a little psychology in college, but I've really spent 30 years studying all of this from a gospel perspective. And what the Lord's always taken me back to is that who we really are is our intelligence that's spoken of in Abraham 3. So before we were spirits, we were intelligences. And it's been our intelligence that was placed in our spirit's mind. When the intelligence thinks thoughts, it puts frequencies and energy into the brain. That's where the brain gets its energy from. Once that frequency is in the brain at those different frequency levels based on the thought, now those frequencies go down through the body and constitute the body electric, or what most people would want to call the immune system. But what's important about the brain is that it is the body part that connects the intelligence or the spirit's mind. So rather than work with a brain, like lots of folks want to do and talk about, I'm not about the brain per se. I want to work with a part that is controlling and energizing the brain. And then what we were introducing today is we're introducing a whole new segment of training, because I've known about it for years and years and years, but we've never gone public with what we're now introducing into the school as well. And that's what we're now calling Protocols of Adversarial Resistance.
Which I'm very excited to dive into, because along the way you have become the go-to expert for Mormon families, bishops, stake presidents, missionaries dealing with pornography and self-abuse. And what you've finally done is created additional protocols, and you're launching it both in the school to teach your upcoming students how to implement these skills, and then you're also helping your clients. And there is online training courses now available that will help you get most of the work done and get your head wrapped around this in the privacy of your own home.
Yeah, so today's kind of the launch of that, and we're finally going to just put it all out there and call it what it is. So this new course is to help people get out of pornography, because it's such a predominant problem in lots of people's homes and lots of people's lives and so on. And what this is about teaching people how to overcome adversarial entities that are actually involved in pornography. When it comes to pornography, I really don't like the word addiction.
Which definitely gets people riled up at first, because they want to say that it is, but if you see it through, and as you'll explain, they'll understand how empowering it is once you realize it's something you can control.
Well, when the guys come in there, and usually they may want to challenge me a little bit with that, because they'll come in and say, well, you know, I'm a sex addict, or I'm a pornography addict. And well, what do you mean you don't believe in addiction? Being an addict means what to you? You have this disease, you're out of control, so you're justified in doing what you're doing. Is that what you want to tell me? Oh, well then you're going to tell me that you have to do it at work or at school or wherever else you're at, because on lunch breaks and so on, you just have to run out, you have to keep doing this? Well, no, because I'd get suspended or I'd get fired or whatever, right? So the challenge is, I said, look, if you can control at work and home when you want to, you are in control of this. This is not a control issue. This is a motivational issue. So a lot of what we do differently is giving them the motivation to control it all the time. And that's a whole process.
They're halfway there.
Yeah, and so but then it's a matter of teaching them the rest of the control tools and amping up the motivation in their own minds to actually be clean and stay clean. We've figured out, and our claim is we know how the imagination works. So the imagination turns emotions up or down depending on how you choose to manage your imagination. And one of the things that we do here is teach people how to actually turn their imagination up appropriately or turn it down and off for inappropriate material, which simultaneously turns off the inappropriate arousal or turns arousal up. So there's been some people, and usually women or even men with ED functions, where you actually have to turn the imagination back up and have them function normally in their marriages. So it goes both ways. With the kids, we're teaching them how to turn it off. So it gives them instant control over their body and their mind but they do have to enact their mind in these ways. They have to manage it. That's why we call it mind management. Once they have the tools and the skills, they can manage their minds and they can stay in control. So the imagination can take the problem clear out to here, but then if you get it clear out to here and then they start to act out in deviant ways, that's where the adversary can actually come in and attach to them mentally, psychically, because once they're attached, they can constantly bombard them in their ears, and I call that mind chatter, where they're getting this constant bombardment of these temptation thoughts and these promptings to continue to do more and more of what they know on this side they profess I don't want to do. I'm sick of all that stuff, I want out of it. That's why they show up in my office. But yet they have these attachments that they think are them. They have all these feelings and emotions that they don't know how to deal with and haven't been taught how to handle. That's what we're doing now, yeah.
That is what is so empowering about what you do, is because you are able to teach people how to manage your mind, be in the driver's seat of your life. And for me, probably the most amazing day of my life is when you taught me how to turn off anxiety. So I can imagine for people who are suffering with pornography or self-abuse through that, it's got to be the best day when they wake up and realize, wait a minute, I am in control.
Right.
Which is what you do every day.
Well, and other people without, the pornography issue, what we really claim to do is to teach people how to be fully in control of your emotions. One of the things that we do quite a bit of is I work with a lot of sports athletes, a lot of salespeople, teach them how to pick up those 50-pound telephones, overcome their fears and anxieties. But we also prep attorneys to take the bar exam, CPAs to take the CPA exam, doctors. So we're helping people in lots of different ways to know how to control, manage their minds and do things at their own free will.
A lot of time that you just don't understand how the mind works, and you do, which is the coolest thing about what you do here. If you have questions about this and you want to know more, log on to CertifiedHypnotherapyTrainingschool.com or PositiveMindManagementServices.com. It is in both places. You can find his education section where there are all kinds of webinars living there. We have an extended TV interview and educational webinar where we talk about this a little further, a little deeper. We also have times that you have presented at seminars where you can learn more and educate yourself and get a lot of your questions answered right there. Again, saving you time and money, because a lot of your initial consultations are answering questions before you really can dive in and do the work. And then if you know somebody who is suffering with pornography or self-abuse, or you are, then this is a great place to start, because you're able to get most of the work done in the privacy of your own home immediately right now by logging on. Now, before we go, we got to talk about, you have one more book. Tell us what your third book is coming out right now.
Well, one of the things that we're really successful with is helping children think about their thoughts and control their emotions. So this new little book is a collaboration with me and my granddaughter. She did all of the pictures and the coloring and stuff, and she filled in the pages so that it has a little explanation that a child can go through and understand these same principles, learn how to control their emotions and their thoughts, put them in their own driver's seat, just like we teach the adults. Only it's been scaled down to a child's level.
Well, with so many children who are suffering with ADHD or learning disabilities out there, we have talked about this before, but we live in a society with the screen time and everything that puts people in a place that they learn how to be really good at being distracted.
Right, and children suffer with all of the same esteem issues. They call each other names at school, sometimes they get bullied, there's other things. This little book addresses those things and teaches them how to adjust their emotions and how to stay in control and be happy again on a regular basis.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, if you want any of these books, webinars, online training courses, log on to Dennis's websites, either one, and give him a call if you'd like to make an appointment for a consultation and get in here and chat with him, or do an online visit. You can reach him through his website, and you will give them a call back immediately, right?
Yes, just as soon as we can.
As soon as immediately. You or one of your team members.
Yes.
Yes.
We will get back to you.
All right, well, Dennis, congratulations again on your beautiful new facility here and everything you've got going on, and I'm super excited to see how things move forward with all of these online training courses. Dennis, thank you so much for everything you do.
Well, thank you, and we're excited to help more people, so thanks for that.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Talk 365 TV right after this.
Brain Rehab Clinic is proud to announce that they're the first clinic in Utah to have on-site the gyrostem. And welcome back to Talk 365. I'm Trip Mitchell. That is Holly Love. And good work on that last segment. And what's interesting now is I'm lucky enough to do a TV show every week with Randall Carlisle. Mm-hmm. We're profiling charities, and the other host of this show is John Absey. And John was the bear for 25 years for the Utah Jazz. Mm-hmm. And totally beloved. And he used to do 200 visits a year to do charity events, and kids loved him. Mm-hmm. The point I was making is that, again, it's a tough time. When you go online, you're picking up bad news a lot. Mm-hmm. You know, politically, either you love Trump or hate him. Mm-hmm. No one's in the middle. I mean, we are a very polarized time. But again, by meeting people who all they do is give back, you feel so much better about everything.
Gary Vee had a quote, and I'm going to totally butcher it, so I'll preempt this. But basically what he said is, with how many people we have on the planet and the technology and the means that we have, if humans were all as bad as sometimes the media portrays, there would be a lot more problems than there really are. In the whole perspective of how many people there are on the planet, how much access we have to each other, humans, for the most part, we're pretty darn good, and this is the best time ever to be alive.
Well, there's no question. And news, we're in a 24-hour news cycle. We've got and now we have digitals. So we hear about bad stuff. Ratings are higher when there's a tragedy.
Something. Well, because you click on it. And you pay attention to it more when something happens, and not to belittle any of the, especially with the shooting tragedies. I think it's important that we're aware of it, and I think it's important that we are pushing for gun control. And what was interesting, I heard Jimmy Kimmel talk about on his show how 98% of gun owners that were polled actually want there to be more restrictions. And so he was joking around, he's like, man, you couldn't even get 98% on is ice cream good if you poll. Because there would be so much all over the place. We're talking people who have guns, who went through, want there to be more rules for other people to have guns. You want people to be able to know how to use a gun if they're going to own one.
That's the analogy would be.
It's a no-brainer.
If, as a person with a Utah driver's license,
you should know how to drive a car.
I would want good drivers to be the only ones who get Utah driver's license. As a gun owner, you don't want kooks buying guns.
Why is this so hard? Trip, it just seems like a no-brainer to me.
It is a no-brainer, but because of that, next show I'll go into the politics of why that hasn't.
I probably need you to, because I don't understand it. But anywho, well, back to the fact that we live in an incredible world, we live in an incredible time, and for the most part, the positive and the opportunity is just overwhelming. And I absolutely love what I get to do, and I thank you for being here every morning with me, and I thank you for joining us every morning, and I hope that you have a wonderful day out there in this beautiful, beautiful time of year here in Utah.
I couldn't say it better, so I didn't. See you next time.